Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Newsbrowse News broadcast. UPI reports that Brazil's upcoming presidential election is exceptionally tight, with polls indicating a statistical tie between incumbent President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva and Sen. Flavio Bolsonaro. The election, set for October, is drawing significant attention due to rising concerns over potential U.S. influence and geopolitical tensions related to critical minerals. A recent IDEA poll shows both candidates with nearly equal support, highlighting an unstable electorate where over half of respondents might change their vote. Senator Bolsonaro's participation in the Conservative Political Action Conference in Texas stirred controversy. During his speech, he called for international monitoring of Brazil's electoral process to ensure free and fair elections with transparent vote counting and protections for free expression. He also explicitly rejected past foreign interference while simultaneously urging international oversight. Bolsonaro portrayed Brazil as a crucial U.S. ally against China, emphasizing the country's potential to reduce U.S. dependence on China for rare earth elements. These remarks led to a Workers' Party representative accusing Bolsonaro of betrayal of sovereignty for allegedly sharing a confidential report with U.S. authorities, though no public evidence supports this specific claim. The Prosecutor General's office has not yet commented on whether an investigation will be launched. Al Jazeera reports that Pakistan has successfully brokered a temporary 2-week ceasefire between the United States and Iran, pausing a 6-week conflict that had claimed over 2,000 lives and disrupted global oil supplies. The diplomatic breakthrough came after intensive back-channel negotiations led by Pakistan's Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif and Military Chief Field Marshal Simon Mir, whose direct ties with U.S. President Donald Trump proved crucial. Both Trump and Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi acknowledged Pakistan's central mediating role. However, significant differences remain, including terms for transit through the Strait of Hormuz, Iran's nuclear enrichment, and the scope of the ceasefire, particularly regarding Lebanon. Formal talks are scheduled to begin in Islamabad on Friday, with a U.S. delegation potentially led by Vice President J.D. Vance. Analysts note this marks a significant diplomatic achievement for Pakistan, positioning it as a global peacemaker. Kanye West's upcoming headline gig at Italy's Helwot Festival on July 18th is sparking controversy after the UK denied the rapper, also known as Ye, entry due to past anti-Semitic remarks, CBS News reports. The UK government revoked his authorization to enter the country, leading to the cancellation of his London Wireless Festival appearance. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer criticized the initial invitation. Ye had previously released a song called Heil Hitler and sold t-shirts with a swastika, later apologizing and attributing his behavior to a manic episode. In Italy, people in the Emilia-Romagna region, known for its strong anti-fascist identity, have raised concerns. Rosamaria Papaleo of the Italian Confederation of Workers' Unions highlighted the contradiction of hosting an artist associated with anti-Semitic remarks. Union representatives have asked Reggio Emilia's mayor, Marco Massari, to require Ye to meet with the local Jewish community. While Massari distanced himself from West's remarks, he noted that entry decisions rest with the national government and called for dialogue. Helwot Festival director Victor Yari Milani acknowledged the reactions but emphasized Ye's apology and the festival's values of respect and inclusion, stating, "They have asked Ye to apologize to Italy as well. No protests are currently planned, but public reaction remains a possibility." Metro-Ka.Israel unleashed over 100 airstrikes on residential areas and estates in central Beirut, southern Lebanon, and the eastern Bekaa Valley in just 10 minutes today, This intense bombardment occurred without warning, only hours after ceasefire between the U.S. and Israel had been announced. Israel's military clarified that this agreement does not cover its ongoing conflict with Hezbollah in Lebanon. Iran has warned that it will withdraw from the U.S. ceasefire deal if Israel continues these attacks. The strikes caused black smoke to billow over Beirut, creating panic in busy commercial locations. Emergency responders searched charred vehicles and apartment buildings, but initial casualty figures were unclear, though the article later states that over 1,530 people have been killed, including 100 women and 130 children, and more than 1 million displaced in Lebanon since the conflict reignited. Displaced families who had begun returning home were forced to halt their plans following Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's vow to continue military operations in Lebanon. Al Jazeera reports that Iran and the United States have both declared victory following a 2-week ceasefire agreement. This truce came just before President Donald Trump's deadline to obliterate Iranian civilization. The conflict has already resulted in at least 2,076 deaths from U.S.-Israel strikes on Iran since February 28, with thousands more casualties across the region and significant disruptions to global energy supplies. Despite their public claims, both nations appear to have backed down from initial red lines. Iran, which initially vowed not to negotiate and insisted on permanent deterrence, accepted a temporary ceasefire and revised its demand for direct reparations, suggesting fees from Strait of Hormuz passage for reconstruction instead. It also saw Israel, a U.S. ally, bomb Lebanon hours after Pakistan announced the ceasefire would cover Lebanon, highlighting a lack of consensus on regional allies. The U.S., in turn, accepted Iran's 10-point proposal as workable, seemingly abandoning calls for Iran's unconditional surrender and its demand to dismantle Iran's ballistic missile program. These apparent concessions will be crucial sticking points in upcoming Pakistan-mediated talks in Islamabad. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.